What's going on, everyone? Today we are back with more Champions content featuring one of my favorite new Mega Pokemon, Mega Delphox. Now, Mega Delphox just won a huge online tournament recently, and with its base stat increases, I can see why Mega Delphox's special attack is up to 159 base special attack, which is previously from 114, I think it's 114, which is a huge boost there. It got a boost to its special defense and its speed, so it outspeeds Mega Gengar, and it can hit super hard. However, it does struggle into very common meta picks like Tyranitar Sand teams and everyone's favorite Pokemon, Incineroar, so you definitely want to consider countering those Pokemon and bring something that's going to hit them hard, like a powerful fighting type. I'm looking at you, Sneasler. Mega Delphox synergizes so well with some Pokemon I'm going to show you today. Since it's such a sought after and high priority target on the field, you're going to want to protect it at all costs, right? So I'm going to showcase a Shed-Tail Orthworm team and a Clefable team as well. Shed-Tail to protect the Delphox behind a substitute, and Clefable to follow me. You can also run Mega Delphox with Whimsicott and have some really cool synergies with it there. Sunny Day and Fake Tears being two of them. I'll squeeze a Whimsicott game in at the end, but we're going to get right to it. So let's look at this Orthworm team here. Orthworm can lead with Garchomp, and you can literally just tank a close combat from a Sneasler with this build with max HP, max defense. Get your Citrus Berry off, and if you want to run Garchomp with Earthquake here, you can. You can Stomping Tantrum into the Orthworm, get your Earth Eater up, and Shed Tail immediately to bring in Delphox, and now you're hiding behind a substitute. You can set up Calm Minds. You're going to notice in this video, I do have different Delphox builds. Sometimes I'm running Dazzling Gleam for coverage. Sometimes I'm running Substitute by itself, but on this team specifically, Calm Mind is great because you have the Substitute from the Orthworm, and you can just come in and set up Calm Minds and, you know, start getting those boosts yourself without having to rely on setting up your own Substitute and wasting a slot there. Milotic's great here because Incineroar unfortunately does eat up Delphox, to put it plainly, and with that competitive, you can get a +2 special attack boost and just scald away, get your Icy Winds for speed control. And Sneasler is good, like I said, you want to bring a fighting type, a very powerful fighting type to counter those Mega Tyranitars, or just base Tyranitars, Hydreigons, Incineroars, etc. And then our own King Gambit, of course. King Gambit is just so great into this meta. It is fantastic into Mega Floette, being able to one-shot it with Iron Head. It is great into Mega Gengar. It is also, unfortunately, very good into Mega Delphox and can one-shot it with the Sucker Punch with Black Glasses, but that is why we have a substitute to hide behind. This way, Delphox can just fire off a Heat Wave and pretty much put an end to King Gambit's antics. This is the EV spread. Very straightforward, nothing complicated. Alright, so we are up against a very clear Sun team with Charizard Y. Very good, we can showcase how good Delphox is here against a very meta team. I think we just go right for the gimmick. We could lead Orthworm and Garchomp, pressure any Charizard leads with a Rock Slide, so they're probably just going to set up the Sun and Protect. And I can just get my Shed Tail off. So I'm going to bring Milotic here, really good into Aerodactyl as well, really good into Sneasler, very good into Garchomp, and I'll bring Delphox. There it is. Not worried at all. They lead off Charizard and Aerodactyl, which is perfect for me because Orthworm is not going to be threatened at all. It's very obvious Charizard is probably either going to Mega here and set up the Sun and Protect. If it were to attack and Heat Wave and kill off Earthworm and just go based off of Impulse, it would be a very lopsided trade in my favor because, killing Orthworm for me killing their Mega Charizard is just not ideal for them. I also get super effective damage on their Aerodactyl and hopefully can flinch them, kind of delaying their Tailwind. They do exactly that. They're going to Mega Evolve here. No surprise. And they do Protect. So, kind of read that like a book. No surprises there for me. I go for the Rock Slide. I'm going to land it on the Aerodactyl, which is perfect. It does a ton of damage. Do I get the flinch? No. That's okay. That's okay. I'll take that because Orthworm just is able now to Shed Tail, and Delphox will unfortunately be susceptible to breaking this substitute, or having its substitute broken. right away, but I'd rather Delphox be behind the substitute and take a Rock Slide than not, you know? It is what it is. I'm in this position now where I can probably protect, but instead I actually go for the Psychic on the Aerodactyl, and I'll tell you why. A lot of Charizards are running Dragon Pulse, and I didn't want Charizard to fire off a Dragon Pulse onto my Garchomp and then have a waste of a turn. So I'd rather try and KO the Aerodactyl, which is super fast, than not kill anything this turn at all. He actually does take, he does withdraw the Charizard, so I'm like, maybe he doesn't have Dragon Pulse. Good to keep in mind. But he brings in Rotom, which does make sense. Rotom is good into Delphox, is good into Garchomp, can eat up those Rock Slides, and, you know, obviously has Levitate. So I'm not in any position to be firing off my own Earthquakes because every single Pokemon that he has just is not affected by Earthquake whatsoever. I go for my Rock Slide. He actually protects here, which is good because he's kind of eating into his own Tailwind. And this is just a free turn for me now. I do good chip on the Rotom, but Rotom does have leftovers. It's pretty bulky. I would have preferred to do more, but Rotom is really good in this meta. I'm going to protect this turn. Again, I want to run down the Tailwind, and I'm going to Rock Slide here. Try and kill the Aerodactyl. This way it doesn't pressure me, and more specifically, my Delphox. Protect goes off. Thankfully, Delphox is going to stay safe another turn. Garchomp will be just fine taking a Rock Slide from Aerodactyl. It's more so what the Rotom's going to do. Yep, that does next to nothing. And I get my Rock Slide off. Thankfully, I kill the Aerodactyl. Hoping for a flinch on the Rotom. I want my substitute to stay up. But he's actually going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto Garchomp. So I respect it. I run Will-O-Wisp on my Rotoms just to completely butcher all physical attackers. So I respect him. I respect him there. But we have 39% chip on this Rotom. I'm not upset about that. And we're kind of withering down the Tailwind turns. Yeah, there's literally one more turn left of Tailwind. Charizard now is going to come out, and we can honestly just Calm Mind. I'm safe behind this substitute. Nothing that they throw at me is going to kill me, and next turn I'll be faster than anything on the field. I'm in a weird position. I don't want to switch. Garchomp's burned. I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide, see what I can do, if I can even do anything, but there's a Dragon Pulse that I was fearing this entire time. It does take me down. Charizard Y is just such a menace, and it shows. And Rotom is going to definitely land the Hydro Pump. Very unfortunate, but I would also be pissed if my 80% move didn't land. So my substitute does go down, no worries, because I get my Calm Mind off, and this gimmick has worked out as intended. The Tailwind is going to peter out this turn, and I'm at +1 special attack and special defense. I'm already bulky to special attackers, so I don't have a good matchup against the Rotom, but I'm also able to live against whatever it throws at me. Plus, if it Hydro Pumps in the sun, it's going to do less damage. I'm just going to go for the Psychic now on the Charizard, see how much I can do, and I'm going to just Icy Wind here. Milotic's really slow, and unfortunately I do have a type disadvantage with Milotic, so I'd rather just keep withering down that Rotom and just chip away at it. It's going to be the thing that annoys me this battle. I can just see it now. They actually switch out the Charizard into Venusaur, clearly one-shots it. There's no Focus Sash on it, so very interesting move here, but they're trying to preserve Charizard as much as possible. Hydro Pump goes off, and I eat that up. Clearly, it's under the sun. I'm at +1 special defense, but damn, Delphox is in a very dominating position. And it's clear that they wanted to switch out Charizard. Now I see it because they only had the one turn of the sun left. Zard's going to come back in here, set the sun, and I can make the obvious play and go for the Psychic into the Zard slot, which I feel like I should do. I don't want to allow this Charizard any breathing room, but they could also protect, which seems like a very obvious play, and just keep firing Hydro Pumps or Thunderbolts into the Delphox slot. And that's definitely in the back of my mind. But like I said, I just don't want this Charizard to have any breathing room. Solar Beam will be detrimental to Milotic. Spread Heat Wave, same thing. So I'm just going to keep firing moves into the Charizard slot. I go for Icy Wind just in case they don't attack me, and let's say Psychic didn't one-hit KO Charizard. I would rather just try and get damage off. Rotom does go for the Thunderbolt, does a ton of damage, but it's into the Milotic slot. So Delphox is still sitting at untouched HP for this turn. Now Charizard most likely cannot protect the next turn unless they get lucky, and I'm just going to fire off Protect here and Icy Wind yet again. Psychic goes off and does 80%. Huge damage. Charizard's going to fire back with a Dragon Pulse, does nothing. I'm going to Icy Wind, which is kind of foolish of me. I should have just gone for the Scald and KO'd the Charizard. I really thought that Icy Wind would probably do a lot more damage, but it didn't, and Rotom is now going to take down my Milotic. Unfortunate for me, and now I'm just left with Orthworm and and Delphox. And now we're in a weird position, because if I attack into the Charizard and it protects, and Rotom kills me with Hydro Pump, I lose this game. Yeah, I should have just gone for the Scald with my Milotic. We live and we learn. I'm going to protect here and kind of scout out and see what's going on. Into both slots, really. I want to see what my opponent is thinking, because I feel like they're probably just going to protect on the Charizard here. So if we have this Protect Mind game going on, if Charizard protects, they most likely won't protect the next turn. Unless they're super lucky, they get the second Protect off, then the game is absolutely in my hands. Charizard does protect, huge, so I will be faster than Zard next turn. I could just kill it. And my opponent is smart. They're going to go for the Will-O-Wisp into the Orthworm slot here, knowing that it's going to struggle to kind of return any damage into Rotom. They know Rotom's kind of like a win con. However, I am fully invested in defense. I'm Impish Nature. Body Press will do a lot of damage, but if they burn me, I don't think I can actually clean up. I have to get Charizard off the board. So I Psychic. Zard doesn't go for the second Protect. Zard does go down. It's all up to Orthworm. Does a ton of damage. But the Rotom's actually going to Hydro Pump into Delphox, and I live! Not only is Delphox just super bulky on the special defense side, but also, like I said, they have the Sun team, so Hydro Pump really is just not doing enough damage, and I think they were kind of hoping that they killed Delphox there. That was their only win condition, and Delphox clutched it. I was able to get some wins with this team. I just really wanted to showcase beating a Sun team, because, you know, it's super meta. You can use this team too. It's really fun. So we're going to switch things up now. Now we have Delphox with Clefable. Clefable is a very good partner next to Delphox. It's one of the few Pokemon that has Follow Me right now in Pokemon Champions, and that redirection is very important to redirect attacks that Delphox does not want to take that Clefable can deal with, like Dark-type moves from Tyranitar or from King Gambit. It can also really eat up moves from opposing Basculegions, which is, Basculegion's running around like crazy right now. It can take a Dire Claw from a Sneasler, it can take a Sludge Bomb from a Gengar. So we're going to lead with that. Garchomp looks good into this comp, whether it's Charizard X or Y on the enemy team, and so does Basculegion, just for sheer power and speed. So that's what we're going to do. They're going to lead Gengar and take a ton, and like I said, I have my Delphox Clefable. Looks like an unfavorable matchup to me, honestly, in any way possible. Of course, Gigaton Hammer to Clefable, and Gengar into Delphox, but this is a good time to protect. Tinkaton notoriously likes to run Fake Out, and I could just protect here, get my Mega Evolution off. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to do the same thing with Clefable. There's really nothing that Clefable can do here. So we just wait this turn out, see what they're going to do. This could also be a Mega Gengar angle as well, so I kind of want to just look and see what's going on here. Tinkaton does go for the Fake Out. That was predicted just fine, and Gengar is going to go for Icy Wind. Thankfully, I Protect. I am still faster than anything on the field, so I'm going to go for my Heat Wave here, and I'm just going to go for the Helping Hand as well. I want to see how much damage I can get off with this Delphox and just show just how much power that this duo has. A Helping Hand Heat Wave will one-hit KO a Tinkaton and a Gengar, but they do pivot the Tinkaton, which is a good move, and they bring in their Charizard. So we are just going to get a free Helping Hand Heat Wave onto Gengar and Charizard, which either one can Mega. I do feel like it's going to be the Charizard now. And we hit the Gengar down to the Focus Sash, And we do a good amount of damage onto Zard, so very respectable there. I'm not mad about it. They go for the Icy Wind. It does land on both. So I'm sitting at -1 speed for both Gengar, for both Clefable and Delphox. Now I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to follow me here. And I want to make sure that I kill the Gengar, and I want to get as much damage off on the Charizard as possible. I have Dazzling Gleam on this build. I could have gone Dazzling Gleam, but I wasn't sure what Zard this would be. I should have predicted that would be X, because Dazzling Gleam would have done a ton of damage. They actually go for Taunt on Clefable, which kind of sucks now, because I can't keep hiding behind Clefable now as Delphox, and I'm just going to KO the Gengar. And now the Charizard's brought down to half. Not bad. Delphox is doing pretty okay here. They do bring in Tinkaton. I still have the type advantage against Tinkaton, but I'm not really feeling this Zard because it has Crunch. I can't bring in Basket Legion. I don't really want to bring in Garchomp because, again, this Zard just has the type advantage here. So I'm going to protect, and I'm just going to go for the Moonblast onto Charizard, because I feel like they're just going to try and fake out me. Yeah, Zard goes for the Crunch, and Tinkaton is going to go for Gigaton Hammer, and I live that. This Clefable is super bulky. I will put the Pokepaste in the description. But yeah, this Tinkaton is meant to literally live anything and everything. Moonblast does a ton of damage. Charizard is just at such low health. What I could do here is I honestly probably should have pivoted into Garchomp for the Crunch and get Rough Skin damage. But I just didn't see the point of it. Like, I feel like Delphox unfortunately has to go down here. I could see if I live a Crunch. I don't think I probably do, actually, because it's not Stab. But Clefable is forced to just attack, and it really does suck, because had I continued to follow me, Delphox would have just swept this team. But Helping Hand from Tinkaton with the Crunch onto Delphox, it does kill it. Under all other circumstances, this Delphox would have just swept. But it's no big deal. Clefable is going to fire off the Moonblast and take the Charizard off my screen. Quite honestly, this Clefable really is the MVP of the match. I love Delphox, but Clefable has done literally everything from redirection to KOing their Mega. And now I could just bring in Garchomp. With the Soft Sand, I'm going to pressure a ton of damage onto Tinkaton. And of course they bring in a Levitate Mon, because why not? So regardless, the target now is Tinkaton from the Garchomp, and I'm just going to have to fire off Moonblast into Rotom and see if I can get some special attack drops. They're actually going to Helping Hand yet again, and this is not what I was expecting whatsoever. Goes for the Hydro Pump onto Garchomp, and it takes me down to such a small sliver of health. I go for this Stomping Tantrum, and of course it has a Shucka Berry. Why wouldn't it? Like, nothing is going my way. And unfortunately, this is just... this is Pokemon Champions. This is competitive Pokemon for you. I thankfully get a drop in Special Attack. The Taunt is now shaken off, so there's some luck in my favor, and there is the forfeit. I think they knew that with that they really couldn't do much. So that's the game there. That's a fun team. That's a fun concept. You can also use Delphox and Clefable. And for our final battle, we have a third team with Whimsicott and Delphox. Really great interactions there. I'm going to lead with these two. I think this is a great battle to bring Delphox. And we're going to go with Sneasler and King Gambit as well, because I do see an Arcaludon and I do see an Alolan Ninetales. So let's get after it. I also brought King Gambit because I cannot stand that long neck giraffe. So if they bring Farigiraf, I'm kowtowing on sight. They're going to lead with Salazzle and Araquanid. I lead with Whimsicott, Delphox. And one thing to keep in mind is that Araquanid does have Wide Guard. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Tailwind, just in case. And I'm going to protect with the Delphox to just scout. Araquanid also has a type advantage, so I need to make sure that I am setting myself up for success here. And they do show off that they have the Wide Guard. Totally fine. They're predicting that I'm going to go for probably Heat Wave or something like that. I Tailwind, but since I have Whimsicott, I can also go for Encore. The Salazzle does go for the Sludge Wave. Unfortunate for me because Whimsicott is going to be taken down to the Sash. I'm just really not getting good leads with these battles, but I'm trying to make do. Unfortunately, Whimsicott is only going to be present for one more turn or two more turns at most. I'm going to Encore onto the Araquanid here. I'm going to Mega Evolve and just go for this Psychic on Salazzle. I'm faster. Unless it's Focus Sash, I do kill. I'm anticipating that it'll be Focus Sash though, because I don't really know what else it would run. Araquanid does go for Protect. It fails because it wide guarded previously, so now Araquanid's actually locked into Protect, which is perfect because now it can't really pressure him with any liquidations. Salazzle is not Focus Sash, so Whimsicott stays on the field, which is exactly what I need to continue setting up. This is the whole point of the team, just Whimsicott and Delphox committing shenanigans. They're going to bring in Dragonite now, which is perfect because this is still my Delphox that has Dazzling Gleam. So what can I do other than Fake Tears onto the Dragonite here? I thought I was going to do it onto Araquanid, I got nervous. But I can break this multi-scale and do a ton of damage while also getting spread damage onto Araquanid since it's not locked into Wide Guard. They're going to Mega Evolve the Dragonite here. Not nervous. I'm sitting fine. Delphox is at full HP. I'm going to hit them with a very powerful Fake Tears, Dazzling Gleam combo. Araquanid does get the Protect off because it's just locked in, so every other turn it's going to protect itself. And Dazzling Gleam is going to do a staggering near half damage through multi-scale. So that is extremely, extremely scary. Surf goes off and Whimsicott goes down and Delphox takes a little bit more than half, but we're fast. So next turn we are going to knock out the Dragonite with a non-stab Dazzling Gleam because the Dragonite's just sitting at half special defense. I'm not going to go into King Gambit because I need to start hitting this Araquanid. It's just sitting there. The Encore is going to end at some point. So I need to make sure that I'm not ignoring this thing because it does have potential to do a ton of damage. This thing's bulky. Bulky water types are scary in VGC. It does get the Protect off again. Very unfortunate. Dazzling Gleam is now going to KO the Dragonite. So this is honestly the most Delphox has been useful in all three battles, quite honestly, because we have KO'd now 2 Pokemon, and we're sitting pretty. We're still fast. Well, now Tailwind goes out, but we're still fast. We're faster than Araquanid, that's for sure. And Farigiraf comes in. This game, we're set here. We're truly set. I can Cowtown to Farigiraf, and I can just go for a stab Heat Wave. But this wouldn't be VGC without some Pokemon Champions antics. Farigiraf has Quick Claw. So there goes the light screen. So now my Delphox isn't going to be able to hit as hard. But I still do a very considerable chunk to the Farigiraf. Kowtow goes off into Farigiraf too, and that's it. It's just the Araquanid left over. And unfortunately, and very ironically, the Encore does end too. So we're just going to Kowtow, we're going to Heat Wave, but he does forfeit. So this was a fun team as well. You can run this too. I'll post the PokePaste below. But that's the video, guys. If you like Mega Delphox, leave a like. You can subscribe. You can use these teams. Tell me how you like them. I'm also open to suggestions. I want to hear what you guys are running. And we're going to come back with another Mega Evolution Pokemon next time. So I'll see you then.